Street photography with an 85mm lens is probably my favorite focal length. So let's see if this new Pro Series lens from Viltrox with a wide aperture of f1.4 can deliver the goods. So today we're going to be testing this new lens to its full potential with some classic street photos, some street portraits, to see if this new offering from Viltrox lives up to the hype of being the affordable 85mm with the performance of much more expensive brand lenses. So one of the big draws of this lens is of course that bright aperture of f1.4, which can be selected using this manual aperture ring. Big fan of these, by the way. So let's go and test f1.4.
So be laughing and smiling at me. Okay, relax, it's fine.
So I have f1.4 selected and face detect on this 61 megapixel Sony camera, really testing out the sharpness of this thing.
Of terror!
The street performing clown here relying heavily on the autofocus face detection. So image sharpness does appear to hold up at f1.4 against other big brand lenses like Sony and Sigma. Just photographing these two old guys here. So look, most of us will be buying f1.4 lenses because we want that professional quality subject isolation and gorgeous creamy bokeh backgrounds. But there can be a danger when shooting such shallow apertures, and that's whether you can nail your focus every time, because f1.4 has an extremely narrow focus plane. Walking shots are just these kind of scenarios that really test the ability of the autofocus system inside the lens. Yeah. So check this out, autofocus speed is super quick. Going from foreground subject to background wastes no time and locks on using that spot focus. This lens offers some very pleasing bokeh and subject isolation at f1.4. Whether it's as quick as the Sony G Master lenses, not really sure. You'd need some kind of nanosecond measuring device. But hey, it's quick enough for my needs and it's quiet too. You can barely hear the motor inside this lens. Got an interesting composition here, window framing, shooting through the shop onto the street the other side with some cool reflections. One of my favorite photos of the day. So I'm using this window as kind of like a double exposure because you get some really good reflections of people walking along here, but I'm actually focusing on the guy playing the guitar. Just managed to frame and snap this guy on a bicycle. So one of the big tests for the 85mm is whether it can perform under the pressure of the huge full frame sensors like the Sony a7C-R, because image quality really gets put under the microscope at these resolutions. So just using these stacked pillars to create depth and compression. Wow, this is amazing just here. Nice. Spot on. lovely textures going on here. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So it's quite dark down this alleyway, glad of the wide aperture. That's nice, you playing with the scarf, yeah. That's really natural. It's trying to create depth here, foreground blur of the moving people. We've got a perfect 85mm composition here with that handrail and staircase. There. Yeah, good. Some lovely mottled sunshine coming through the canopy of trees here. So you're probably wondering exactly how sharp this lens is across the entire frame into the corners at varying apertures. I am too, so let's find out. All right, so f1.4. Let's go f2.8. And we'll do f5.6. At f1.4 and zoomed into 100%, sharpness in the center of the frame is excellent. Moving over to the corners does reveal some loss in sharpness, which is expected for such a wide aperture. Stopping down to f2.8 fixes the sharpness and slight vignetting. And through f5.6 to f11, we get peak performance and quality in the corners. Even at f16, this lens offers very good sharpness all across the entire frame. But where this lens excels is f1.4 portrait work. Whether you're shooting close-ups for eye details with a minimum focusing distance of 79 centimeters, the Viltrox 85 produces some stunning results with accurate color skin tones. During a studio portrait session using strobes, f7.1 is my favorite aperture and super sharp. For natural window light shots, f1.4 gives us those dreamy backgrounds and nice professional fall off. So build quality is pretty good actually. Aviation grade magnesium aluminium alloy. So it is on the heavy side at 800 grams compared to my Sigma 85mm 1.4. Some might see this as a positive. Heavier glass normally means superior optics, and they'd be right because they put 15 elements inside this beast, including extra low dispersion elements and high refractive index glass. Throw in some nanotech coatings and you end up with next to no distortion or color fringing. In fact, I've not seen any green or purple chromatic aberration. Shooting high contrast scenes where light meets dark usually show up these kind of lens issues. It is a weather sealed design with a high quality rubber gasket, which will keep out moisture and dust. Again, we have this aperture ring with a choice of click or no click for professional video work. Autofocus, manual focus, override switch, and a customizable button on the side. All of these features are what make this a Pro Series lens, and Viltrox have managed to achieve this for 3 times cheaper than the Sony G Master 85mm 1.4 with almost identical specs, which for the release price of £569 here in the UK, you're getting a whole lot of glass for the money, not only for still photography, but as a cinematic lens, because of its proprietary Hyper VCM motor and quick autofocus. Maybe one to me. Really nice. Chin up a bit. Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with some other images taken with the Viltrox 85mm 1.4 and say a big thank you to Georgie Butler for her stellar modeling work, and thanks to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you're not subscribed, please think about doing so by clicking the red button below, and I'll see you very soon.